3rd and 7, 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Rutgers to pass. He's got Boston, a first down for Washington across the 25 and out to the 29-yard line. 3rd down completion, a gain of 17.
Weber State was trying to bring some pressure there, but that is a double-edged sword. All of a sudden, when you pressure like that, there's a big gap.
Williams, bubble screen. Lots of room. Still on his feet, finally brought down. Denzel Boston. 5th catch of the night. That was good for 20 yards. He has matched his entire season total in catches from last year.
This drive's all about the future. There's Damon Williams flashing a handoff to fresh.
Williams to pass. Got a guy. Touchdown. Denzel Boston. Welcome to college football, Damon Williams.
He's done a little bit of everything tonight.
He has.
Been involved in special teams. They targeted him underneath, over top. Shown some great things after the catch. This one is just called put a little sauce on it, baby. Bam, foot in the ground. When you lose a DB like that, that's when you might throw up on Instagram tomorrow.
Played quite the game here in the first half. But Washington has found their footing thanks in large part to Will Rogers throwing the ball and to grab for a touchdown on the last drive. And this drive ends with a pass to Denzel Boston for a score. 7 catches, but 6 last week and 2 today.
Look at the bottom of your screen. Denzel runs a nice little post route. There's a safety in there.
But plenty of talent at wide receiver.
Play action. Rogers going to take a shot. Down the seam. Boston! Got it! Touchdown! Huskies. So many years backing up some of the greats with this UW program. Rogers, the pass, and hits Boston again. That's been a nice connection. Boston with a career-high 8 receptions for 58 yards last week.
Early fumble, even though you recovered it.
4 drives, 1 first down. Punt off the side of the foot of Luke Akers. And Boston able to stay on his feet into plus territory. 26 yards on the return. And a short field for the Huskies looking to pile on.
It's like the coverage. Again.
Yep. DeGraff, the tight end, setting an edge. Boston has another touchdown. That's been a terrific combination from the get-go tonight. Rogers to Boston.
Muhammad is the setback. Little curl. Out to Boston. Denzel Boston breaks free and is going to score. Touchdown, Huskies. 51 yards. Boy, that was a great piece of offensive coaching and play calling by Fish and his coordinator, Brennan Carroll.
And an even better job by Denzel Boston. He comes and then he hooks up. It's shallow cross, but he comes, he sees his zone.
SHI Stadium, if they get a stop right here. Going deep, caught. Great reception by Denzel Boston. Sort of tipped it to himself.
What a courageous throw by Will Rogers. 4th and 1.
For Brennan Carroll and for Jed Fish. Fade pattern, open. It's Boston. It's touchdown. Boy, they could have used that about 30 seconds ago. Would have had the extra timeout. Now they only have the 2 remaining.
That's a big mistake by the cornerback of not recognizing the situation.
Jed Fish prefers to have a 3-headed monster in a receiving core. He's got that with Jeremiah Hunter along with those 2 and the tight end Latu. They will go to the air on first down. Rogers fires open. Boston got it in stride and into Michigan territory. 35 yards on the first play of the game.
Well, right away they go after Jair Hill instead of Will Johnson. A little out and up, and Hill bit on the fake. And they talked about these 2 corners from Michigan.
Play clock down to 2. Rogers, end zone. Boston, touchdown! His 8th of the year gets Washington on the board.
This ended up being a touchdown. Hill's in good position, and he slips. And because of that slip, Boston's able to get his hands on the football.
What an effort to get the foot down.
Yeah.
That right heel stayed up.
Rogers back on. He wants to throw, launching end zone. Boston, touchdown again. The 9th of the season for Denzel Boston.
This is pretty good right here. Watch the steps. It's just going to be a little fade route, right? He's just going to go right to the back corner of the end zone, create space. The whole key there, Jason. And it's what he learned from Roman Madunze and all those vets. Don't run to the pylon.
Yep.
Run into that DB so your QB's got all that real estate to put it right back there for the big frame at 6'4".
Not only a pork loin sandwich, they like more. That throw is over the middle. That's right there. Boston again down the middle of the field to the 24-yard line.
And Rogers is going to throw under pressure over the middle. Denzel Boston down inside the 40.
We talked about the play action game being such a factor for Washington. It again is. You watch the linebackers for Indiana. They get sucked up on this play action to stop Jonah Coleman. You can see Aiden Fisher in your screen there. And then just get the ball thrown right behind him, right behind Aiden Fisher over his.
Rogers to throw a first down, runs the slant to Boston. Down to the 25-yard line, give him the 24. Rogers to pass, gets to the outside. Boston, first down, Washington.
Williams to pass. In the face of a rush down the sideline. A leaping grab inside the 35. Denzel Boston shows up.
Holy cow, DeMond Williams. Welcome to this game. He gets drilled and puts the ball down the field. Denzel.
It's funny, the circle of life in football. Because Russell Davis's dad, part of the 07 Giants, of course, beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl as Rogers throws for a first down to Boston. Williams drove him down last drive, and they kicked a field goal to extend their lead. UCLA just missed one, staying a 4-point game. And Williams on target to Denzel Boston, who steps out of the tackle, cutting back past midfield. Ball came out at the end of it. Boston was ruled down, though.
Yeah, I think they're calling him down. It won't matter as you see Latu 85 picking it up. But here's the difference in the game. UCLA can't just execute these little sliders, get things going right here. It turns into a huge play. Boston gets cut back to nothing. Great cutback and make a miss on Addison. Keep that baby high and tight.
A lot early this season. He's got single coverage, and they're going to him in the end zone. He made the grab, but it didn't look like he'd get the feet down. They're going to call it a catch, 1st and goal.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he is tall. He's 6'3". Does he get a foot down?
No.
Oh, he left his feet to make the catch. The field judge got knocked off his feet as well.
Williams to throw. Williams rifles. It is caught. Denzel Boston pays it off.
It is all man coverage, and it's a nice design. They freed it up the back of the end zone for Boston. Here he goes the back of the end zone, but Jeremiah Hunter, number 6, kind of held his defender. 15 more days of camaraderie and guys being in the locker room together. The early signing period happens soon. The transfer portal opens soon.
With a 5-set victory earlier over Kansas. Quick pass. Denzel Boston catches, fights off the tackle, puts his foot in the ground and stays in bounds. And then a burst up the sideline for a first down. That helps them get out of bad field position as Boston caught it and broke a tackle and went for 18.
Oh, this is a good call.
And Colorado State coached him at Western Kentucky. Throw by Williams, 3rd down, wide open. Denzel Boston caught it, trying to drag a tackler into the end zone and just short.
That's short. Well assigned to their execution, to their blocking assignment.
Defense. the 12th player to not get off the field prior.
Get away with a hold. Denzel Boston comes up. Great job by the offensive line that too.
In school history, they have a fight on their hands. Pressure, hit as he throws, but it is a catch for Denzel Boston. Demond Williams stood in, made a critical throw. Boston hung on to the ball, and they moved the chains to the 34.
A nice pass that time by Williams again. Look and see if he catches it. We're going to look in.
It was 14 all at halftime. Williams, a lot of time to throw. Looking for Denzel Boston. Finding Denzel Boston. Marker down. Catch made. Touchdown right now.
And as you take a look at this play develop, look at that. Great concentration and pulls in this catch. Bobbles it a little bit, Mark. But that is a big-time catch from a big-time player.
9 touchdowns last year. Number 1 here, great concentration.
They had a really good season last year, now building on it for early on in this season.
Denzel Boston is going, working his way upfield. Boston cuts it outside. He's gone. Denzel Boston, a 78-yard punt return touchdown. He's going back there. We need him.
I love how he catches that and has no fear. He gets directly upfield, then he uses his eyes and uses his blockers. Really good blocking all the way around. No penalties, clean operation. You love to see that from your return team. Now let's see if we can get the same operation from the cover teams of the Washington Huskies.
Be the icing on the cake, the one thing they're looking for, the kickoff coverage, but that was a great special teams play from first-year special teams
coordinator. Look at the Hatchet boys getting a little celebration on down there.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have if you're Jetfish and this staff.
Look out, a little bit of pressure, but Williams unloads it first, and Boston going upfield, driven down at the 35-yard line.
9 on the ground, 1 as a receiver. Muhammad in to spell him. Williams had time, and that throws crossed and got it to Boston. Denzel Boston, first down, Huskies.
Defensive coordinators call this street ball. That it's outside of the play. They defend the play. It's going to be a wheel route to the outside, okay? Covered well. Now the quarterback starts playing street ball. What does he run? Does he pass?
I didn't take that as directed at Denzel Boston. I don't agree with that call. Williams, quick throw, and it's a touchdown. Boston breaks in.
This is the beauty about football. As long as there's time.
17 unanswered points for Washington. Williams pumps. Now let's fly. Boston brought it down.
Well, this is what they do. This is what made the first
ball really well in its opening drive, but missed a field goal, did not come away with any points. Williams, play action, wants to take a shot to the right side. It's Denzel Boston, the leading receiver across the 45. 19 yards.
Boy, this is just a tough route to cover. You get man-to-man on that crossing route. They actually try, especially after 2 losses in a bye week.
Williams floats it into one-on-one coverage down the sideline for Denzel Boston. It's a touchdown. Fifth of the year for Boston. First touchdown today for Washington.
I want you to watch the hands of Denzel Boston. Look at that. Look at the...
Jed Fish called him the most under-the-radar player on this offense. Williams launches to Boston. It's a touchdown. His second tonight.
Sometimes it's just
538 yards of total offense. Williams to throw it. Winds up. The deep ball in coverage and caught. Denzel Boston went up and got it. A gain of 48. Michigan's trying to double team him down the field. But watch as Boston is just going to get a chance from his quarterback. So he moves inside of Mason Curtis.
He's serving as their wide tight end today.
One across the middle, that's Boston. First down, Huskies inside the 25-yard line. Boy, Williams had all day to throw.
That's the danger here. His legs make you so fearful of his rushing ability, but this is what he does so well. He has an ability to rip it from the pocket and pick you apart, and that's...
Set up, Boston. He's going to throw it. He's got a wide open man. Touchdown! Jonah Coleman scores. Boston threw it. Jed Fish opening the bag of tricks.
Yes, he is. That's a beautiful play call, and just the timing of it as well. Yeah, such...
Williams to pass. Williams going to tuck it and now throw it. Inbounds. Touchdown. Denzel Boston, Mr. TD.
That's his 7th of the season, and these guys, this is exactly what they do. They work together down in the red zone. Look at the location. Denzel Boston gets both feet down and the knee down in.
Will he add another? It's going to be a throw. Denzel Boston, one hand touchdown, Huskies. Red zone reception and touchdown. King, his 12th touchdown inside the red zone of his career, puts the Huskies on top. 10-3.
Tight end in motion. Here comes everybody. Williams got rid of it. Touchdown, Denzel Boston. Boy, do the Huskies need that one.
So you got to think two things. You got to think your best play, and you got to think your best player. And on that one, they put it together as Boston could have come inside with the pick.
To the left on 4th down and 8. A must-have for the Huskies. Williams steps up in the pocket, fires end zone. Got it! Touchdown, Denzel Boston.
Create some traffic, but the offensive line held up to have time to throw this play. They create...
Play action, pressure off the edge. Williams does a great job to step up. And my goodness, Denzel Boston waits for it and will walk in for a Washington touchdown.
The tight end to Graff running across the field. Nobody stays with Denzel Boston. He's wide open, and after Damon Williams sidesteps that pressure from Smith, it's a wide open Denzel Boston. You cannot leave number 12 that wide open on a football field, or Damon Williams is going to make you pay.
Can't leave anybody that open. 30 yards.
It's fair
between him and anybody in a white jersey.